Darkroom software comes with the ability to create and use green screen for your templates to add some special effects to your booth events. What we're going to do is we're going to take a look at how to modify an existing green screen template, and then we're going to look at how to create a new one very quickly. So what we have here is we are on our main settings in Darkroom, and we need to choose a green screen template. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit our choose button here. And there's a specific template that comes with Darkroom. It's a 4x6 template, so it's a single shot. And what we're going to do is we're going to modify this. So the holiday green screen is a really good one to start out with. Green screen pictures tend to be a little bit bigger in terms of what we want to see so that the green screen effect is really visible. So I have this selected. We're going to come up here and we're going to hit edit. And as we look at this, we see there's only two components here. And the first thing is our graphic, which is this Christmas tree and fireplace. And then we have the photo placeholder. And the photo placeholder is the entire size of the 4x6. Now, one thing that you can do to identify what templates are for green screen and which templates are standard templates is by looking at the photo placeholder, we see the number one here. If this were a normal template, meaning not for use with green screen, it would look like this. It has a dark gray background. So anytime you see a placeholder with a number and a dark gray background, that is a standard template. I'm going to turn that back into chroma key. And we'll talk more about this in a little bit here. All right. So now I'm ready to create a template. Now what you should do is you should have some images handy. Now I grab some images out of my library here. And depending on what the event and theme is going to depend on obviously what image you use. So I have some photographs, I have some 3D art I created. Now, one thing is with like this one here, okay, this is a black and white image, probably not something I'm going to want to use. It doesn't really have any punch. It might look neat on the screen, but in terms of a photo strip or a postcard photo, not quite what we're looking for. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to choose a train theme. I'm going to use this one. So to select that, what I want to do is I want to double click up here on graphic. We have our properties window and I'm going to browse. And the folder is on my desktop. Green screen images. There's my train. I'm going to click open. And you can see it's replaced the picture. I'm not going to do anything with it right now. I'm just going to come down and click OK. And it's going to instantly replace that for me. Now, I could, if this was a little too big, I could probably resize it and move it around a bit. But by switching it out using the browse button, it's going to accommodate the size of the original picture. All right. So that's all there is to it into changing an existing green screen template and replacing it with your background. So I, of course, I'm going to do save as. And I'm just going to call it a green screen overview template. I'm going to hit save. And that will, of course, create a copy, which is right there. So I will go ahead and choose that. So because I went from a 3-picture template to a 1-picture template, Darkroom has noticed this doesn't match. You only have one photo going on here. So I'm going to go ahead and click yes, please change that. And you'll notice this up here, how many photos per session will change from 3 to 1. All right, so this isn't quite what I'm looking for. And you can see I'm still at 2x6. Now, because I'm doing a 4x6 template, I'm going to tell Darkroom That's the size I want. And there we go. All right. Now I'm going to want to have a green screen booth screen so that people can see themselves as they're getting positioned for the picture against this backdrop. I'm going to come up to main, go to my screens tab, and I have a different green screen one here, but I'm going to choose something simple. Right, so I'm going to hit the choose button here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start out with this one right here. This is an easy one to edit. And I'm going to highlight it and I'm going to come up here and hit the edit button. And there we go. So a couple things we need to do with this. We're going to take some of this stuff off of the side here. I'm going to click on the text graphic. I'm going to get rid of the logo. Delete. And it has picture placeholders, which for a strip that has multiple pictures, the pictures will show up here. But we're doing a one shot 4x6, so we don't need these. So I am going to remove these. And photo 2 and photo 3. Right now, I have these images I need to delete. So every time I highlight one, I'm going to find it over here with the check mark and right click and delete. Last one. All right. Now we have our rectangle. We will not need that. And we have our text down here, which we also don't need. A lot of deleting on this one. All right. Now, we have some extra room. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the live view window by clicking on it right here. And we're just going to make that a little bit bigger. And that'll do for now. We can click on this text box, move it down a little bit below. And we also have this curtain graphic that we're going to be replacing. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and make this the same size like this. We'll fix that in just a second. So just like with the template, I'm going to double click on this and I'm going to browse and I am going to find my train picture. There we go. Click open and click OK. All right, so now I can click on live view again. I can shrink this way just a little bit so it matches up. And there we go. Now, the one thing that's missing from this template is a start button. So I'm going to add one very quickly. I'm just going to add a shape. I'm going to make it a circle. I do not want it this bright green, so I will use this pastel salmon here. Why not? Say OK. And for the text, I'm going to put start, and let's see how this looks. Okay, a little big. So let's shrink it down. There we go. Drag that over here. Size it up a bit. All right. Now to give this a booth function, I'm going to double click on it again. I'm going to come to booth command right here. I'm going to come all the way over to edit. And I'm going to choose the command start session. That's all I need to do. Hit OK. Hit OK again. Now I have a green screen booth screen. So this will show up on the screen when they go into the booth. I have my start button, very noticeable. And now I'm going to give this a file name by using save as. And I'm going to make sure it was copied. There it is. So I'm going to hit choose. And that is what they're going to see when they walk in. They'll walk in front of the green fabric, and it will the live view will transpose the image over the green fabric so they can place themselves here closer to the train, whatever they feel like doing. All right. So now we're going to look at creating a template from scratch, a very basic one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come into choose for a print template, and I'm just going to hit new. And we're going to go ahead and just do a 4x6. So we really don't have to change anything here. Make sure it's horizontal so that it's going this way and not vertical. Just going to say okay. And there's my background, my canvas. And the first thing I'm going to do is add my artwork. I'm going to browse back down here, and I'm going to add my train. Okay, and click OK again, and there it is. All right. Now I need to add the photo placeholder. So I'm going to go to where just the single add photo is. And when the properties window comes up, under the transparency options, this is where we turn it into green screen compatible by coming down here, clicking on chroma key for green screen or blue screen. And we're just going to leave it like that. Hit OK. Now I've got my number one transparent background because I can see the image, and I can go ahead and give it a name. I'm going to go down and make sure it's selected, new green screen train. I hit choose, and there we go. Looks the same as the other one, but that's how simple it is to create a green screen template in Darkroom. And the same process works for the screens where we add the elements. You just simply need to, we'll come in here to edit. You would just need to change the live view from no transparency to chroma key so that you can see the background behind it. Come back to our main. And that's all there is to creating a very basic green screen template in Darkroom.